Sheriff Joe Arpaio with Donald Trump prior to an election rally in 2016. Photo by Scott Olsonga. Images Leanne Wimhurst. 10 hours Saturday, August 26, 2017. Donald Trump has controversially decided to exonerate Joe Arpaio in an act condemned as racist. Speaking at rally in Phoenix, Trump said Arpaio was convicted for doing his job. The sheriff had been found guilty of contempt of court after ignoring a judge's order to stop traffic stops targeting Latinos. Arpaio continued the racial profiling for a year and a half. He was due to be sentenced in October and could have faced up to 6 months in jail. But the Arizona lawman had been mired in multiple scandals well before he was convicted of racial profiling. Here's what his local paper had to say. We've been covering Joe Arpaio for more than 20 years. Here's a couple of things you should know about him. 1. Many. Phoenix New Times. At Phoenix New Times, August 26, 2017. Running a concentration camp in 1993, he opened a temporary outdoor jail called Tent City for holding illegal immigrants. TV crews captured a protest of more than 200 Latino men in 2009, shouting Hitler, Hitler. The men were shackled to each other, wearing black and white striped suits and forcibly marched towards the open-air prison. Just months before, a documentary crew had captured Joe Arpaio. Described Tent City as a concentration camp. It's now closed. Arpaio's Tent City. JEANLOUP Sensife PGT Images. Multiple hangings. The Phoenix New Times revealed that close to 160 people had died in Arpaio's jails. A quarter of those deaths are from suicides. That's more than double the average suicide rate in other counties. Paraplegic beaten jailers almost broke the neck of a paraplegic inmate who had asked for a catheter so he could urinate. Prison officers use what the Phoenix New Times calls a medieval-looking restraint chair for so-called troublesome inmates. Wheelchair-bound Richard Post was forced into the chair for asking to relieve his bladder. He was left in it for 6 hours. A year later he had lost much of the use of his arms and required surgery to remove vertebrae from his neck. Racial segregation in a publicity stunt. Arpaio racially segregated prisoners and then marched them alongside an electric fence. In a depressing parade, many of the men hid their faces from the cameras or turned away. Stillbirths. The Phoenix New Times told the story of a woman who lost a previously healthy baby because she was ignored while she was in labor. At least 4 other women contacted the paper to complain of miscarriages, stillbirths and otherwise harsh conditions for pregnant women. There's more. Taxpayers paid for one of Sheriff Arpaio's deputies to go on a jolly to Hawaii in search of Barack Obama's birth certificate. He staged an assassination plot against himself. Finally, in 2013, a judge found him guilty of racial profiling and discrimination. Reacting to Trump's pardon of Arpaio, Congressman Ruben Gallego, a Democrat, said on Twitter, "Racists always back up racists." In news http://cnews.co.uk